What's up, YouTube? Keith Mitchell here, and I gotta be honest with you, it's time to talk some more Cyberpunk 2077. Now, I'm pretty sure most of you have been following the recent events of the game. The game was released for the Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5, PC, and of course Stadia. And there's been a lot of issues with the console versions of the game, and mainly because both the PlayStation and the Xbox versions, PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 4 Pro and Xbox One, have been riddled with bugs, crashes, poor performance, and obviously the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S versions are just running in backwards compatibility mode, so they don't benefit from any kind of enhancements. That next gen versions won't be coming out for months. It won't be out to like 2021, and even then, due to what's happening now, we have no idea when we'll see those versions. But let's not talk about that right now. Let's talk about what's happening with the base versions of the game for PlayStation and Xbox, which has been abysmal. I'm going to prefix that with also talking about where we stand as far as our review versions of the game. So we did reach out for review access to the game, and we did get that on the same day that the game was released. So obviously we couldn't work on a review. We couldn't tell you about the performance, because if we could, we would have. The other outlets that did get access to the game ahead of time got that for the PC, and we all seen how the PC version works. If you have the hardware, it runs at an acceptable level, depending on if you're running at 1080p, 1440p, 4K, with or without ray tracing. However, CD Projekt Red did not send out any kind of console review versions to anybody, and we're seeing why that is, because across the board, PlayStation, Xbox, the console versions are bad. They are bad. We did get access to the PC version and the PlayStation version. I've been playing the PlayStation version, as has several people at the outlet, and we have nothing but negative things to say about the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 4 Pro and PlayStation 5 version. It is very unplayable. Again, frame rate issues, AI issues, multiple crashes, people clipping through walls, shooting segments and driving segments or unacceptable frame rate drops. It's just bad. It gets somewhat better on the PlayStation 4 Pro, but not by much. It still suffers from the same issues. And then when you play it on the PlayStation 5, it has enough power to brute force all that. And there is slight improvements on the PlayStation 5 because it's using the PlayStation 4 enhancements and then brute forcing that. But even then, it's still a very unpolished and buggy game. It's for people who've been waiting for this game for 8+ years. I remember when this game was first announced 8 years ago, and I remember them saying, hey, this is not coming to the console because the consoles can't handle the game. And now I think that was towards the end of the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3. And then we pretty much went through the entire generation of the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One, where now the game is out and we're seeing it run on these consoles. And we're seeing that, hey, even then, these consoles, either for lack of optimization on CD Projekt Red's part, or the hardware just isn't there, or a combination of both. But that leads me up to my main question is, should they have focused on bringing out this game for the current generation of consoles? Yes, I know that the PlayStation 4 and Xbox One make up the majority of the console base right now. The adoption rate for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series, I'm just going to call them series, consoles, is low because, one, stock is low. Two, we got those damn scalpers buying up every damn thing and selling them for outrageous prices, and people aren't buying them, hopefully. And three, even if you could get the consoles, they're expensive. People don't have that bank. We're in a pandemic right now where people either have lost their job, less hours, or simply don't care about playing games because they'd rather worry about putting food on the table, which is super important. I agree with that. So maybe they should have just dropped the current generation, last generation consoles and just focus on next generation consoles. I mean, I know that's going to rub people the wrong way, but look where we are right now. I mean, there are multiple people on Twitter, on Reddit, on multiple internet forums saying that PlayStation 4, PlayStation 4 Pro, Xbox One, Xbox One X versions run terribly. Again, performance, bad AI, the bugs, the weird issues. It's not a good sign right now. I mean, CD Projekt Red has to go into damage mode right now, damage control mode, and address this. We already got one patch, 1.04, which they said addressed some issues. Now, I played again on the PlayStation 4, and I played again on the PlayStation 5, and it still doesn't play well on the PlayStation 4 at all. I can say maybe 5 got a little better, but then again, it's not the next gen version. It's running in compatibility mode. So what is there really for us to see? I mean, it looks great on the PlayStation 5. Yeah, I'll give it that, but it runs like crap. When I pair it alongside my PC version, which obviously looks better and plays better, it's still a far cry compared to what I'm looking at on the PlayStation 4 and the PlayStation 4 Pro. It's kind of disappointing. It's even to the point now where I woke up this morning and I found multiple outlets talking about that Sony is actually providing refunds for people on the PlayStation 4 version. I mean, if Sony is refunding people, that's a bad sign. There were people asking for refunds when No Man's Sky first came out, which is a Cinderella story because it came out doing a lot better. Years after its release, it's doing so much better. But with a game called Cyberpunk 2077, the game that we've been waiting forever to play, and then it comes out and everybody's like, this is the best game ever, this game is perfect, which I have an issue with, and I've said it before and I'll say it again. All these outlets that came out and said this game is perfect, but yet they said it has bugs, it does this, it has a problem with this, it has bad performance. Then how the hell, I almost said the F-bomb, how is it perfect if it has all these issues? The merit of a review is for us and them to be subjective, but honest. If I review a game and I see bugs and I have crashes, I'm going to tell you flat out, this game is nice, it's a great game, it's fun to play, but it has fundamental issues and is not perfect. I don't understand that. It's the same stuff that people gave one of the Zelda games a perfect score when it had issues left and right. And I'm like, it's not perfect if it's having issues, but I'm not here to piss off the Cyberpunk 27 fans. It's not my goal. My goal is pretty much ask the question, should they have delayed this game? Should they have released it on previous consoles, current gen consoles, whatever you want to call it? And my answer is no. They should not have released it on those consoles. I'm sorry. That's not what people want to hear, but from what we're seeing, is it any different? Bad performance, and I really don't think they're going to be able to get these consoles to a level of performance that people find acceptable. I don't think they're going to get to a point where they can make that game run at a solid, consistent 30 frames per second, not without dropping the visual quality. And then that comes back full circle where, okay, if they drop the effects, they drop how the game looks, people are going to go, wow, this game looked terrible. You're not going to satisfy everybody. So I don't know how they're going to pull this one off, but I think the Xbox One and PlayStation 4 versions are going to be in a very bad place for a very long time if it ever gets fixed. I think this is also going to make them push the enhanced version for the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series consoles a lot sooner than we expect, if they even do that right now, because they're too busy playing damage control. At the same time, yeah, I think this game probably would have benefited being delayed a lot longer. When they delayed it multiple times, everybody was like, great, they're delaying the game because they're working on it. They even came out and said, hey, we're delaying the game because we want to polish the game to make it the best it can be. Well, after numerous delays, this game is not the best that it can be. I'm sorry. These issues that we're seeing from numerous outlets and internet forums and Reddit and your mom's basement, everywhere, everybody's complaining about this game. This is polish. This is better optimization. Oh my God, I hate to see what happened if you had released it ahead of time. People are ragging on Halo Infinite. Look at this game, holy crap. And again, it's not to say that Cyberpunk 2077 is a bad game. I played it, I enjoy it, but I'm playing it on my PC. The review copy that I was sent for the PlayStation 4, I already told the people that sent it to me, look, I'm sorry, we are not finishing the review on the PlayStation. It's just not happening. It's not happening, and I really hope it doesn't damage our relationship, but we simply cannot. Unless CD Projekt Red can pull a miracle out of its ass, it simply is not happening. Our review will be on the PC version with the hardware that we have, and I'm sorry if it's not on like a PC with the latest and greatest hardware like an RTX 2080 or 3080 or 3090 or even the AMD 6800, because we can't find those cards anywhere. We don't have a relationship with AMD or Nvidia. We're not asking for free merchandise from them, but yet the money that we have to go buy the hardware, we can't buy the hardware, and we're not paying scalpers 2 to 3 times the amount of money to buy these things just so we can update our machines so we can do a review. So you'll get our review from us, but it'll be on hardware that I guess most people have in their machines. That said, yeah, guys, I really like the game. I do think it has some issues with, it is controversial. There's a lot of political issues in the game, but I tend to put political things out of my mind when I play games because we have enough stuff to worry about in the real world than worrying about what happens in the game. I do have a lot of problems with the performance. A lot of people call me Mr. Frame Rate Matters because I care about my frame rates, and I'd rather frame be superior over to resolution. If you give me a game that's 1080p with detail at the yin yang and 60 frames per second or more, I'm good. Give me one that's 1440 or same thing, I'm good. Give me a game that's 4K, it drops to 30 frames per second. Nah, I'm not about that. I need my frame rates. Resolution is second. Resolution is nice to have, but frame rate is king. At 1080p and above, there's no excuse for a game to run at 720p on a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One. There's none. That said, I'm not here to accept you guys. I'm just here to provide some truth and what I feel about the current situation. I give props to Sony for allowing people to refund their game now. I hope Xbox follows suit. Yeah, it's just a bad situation all around. I really wish Projekt Red would come out and say, you know what, we dropped the ball, we goofed, we are working to fix it. But they've been semi-transparent, very semi-transparent. So we'll have to wait to see what happens in the next upcoming weeks. But I don't see this situation getting any better. I really hope it does, but I don't see it, not for a while. And that's just me. I could be wrong. I wouldn't be the first time I'm wrong. It won't be the last time I'm wrong. But anyway, guys and gals, that is it. That is the rant for today. As always, if you like what I was talking about, hit the thumbs up. If you didn't, the thumbs down. Please leave a comment, good or bad. We don't care. It helps us grow the channel. Feedback, as you see, we're doing a lot more video content here at the Outerhaven Productions YouTube channel. And if you like this, subscribe. Hit the notification bell. You'll be notified when new videos are posted, either rants like this, me dropping knowledge like this, maybe gameplay, podcasts. You never know what we're going to put up there. We might even have some interviews coming up soon. We got a lot of stuff planned, and we're trying to push YouTube. So the more people subscribe, the more people show their support, the happier we are, and the more we know that you're actually watching our content, and it's worth our while. If you don't watch anything from us after this, have a happy holidays, happy Christmas, be safe out there, wear your damn mask, take care of your friends and family, and play some games. I'll talk at you next time.